Well, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 8 to 10 days today, and then just extend out a little bit into the rest of the winter. Before I get on with the video, though, I just want to talk about the advertising. There's video ads on my pages at gazweathervids.com. If you hit play on the video ads, you'll be supporting gazweathervids.com. Thanks very much for doing that. Gaz Shop is open, so if you want to buy any Christmas presents at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click through the Amazon banners in Gaz Shop. It'll take you directly through to Amazon, and you can do Christmas shopping there as normal. At the same time, Gaz Weathers will get a royalty fee on anything that you purchase. Thanks so much for doing these things. Website, getting involved with website, it does make a big difference to supporting website, paying for website, really. So thanks so much for doing that. And yeah, if you want to get involved, that's how you can do it and support gazweathervids.com. Now, we're in quite a mild sort of phase of weather just at the moment. It's been very quiet through the first part of December, other than the brief storm, of course, that we had around a week ago. But it really has been quite a quieter sort of December so far. Things are going to get a lot more active, though, in the coming week. We're going to have some heavy rain, we're going to have some gale force winds, but nothing particularly cold. If you're wondering where the cold weather is, well, this is the temperature anomaly forecast with the United States for Christmas. This is taking us from the 21st to the 26th of December. And, well, look at this. There's going to be some potentially exceptionally cold air coming into much of the United States over Christmas. In fact, it's going to be very cold leading up to Christmas, I think. And over Christmas, it could get even colder. These anomalies here, these purple colours, are indicating anomalies perhaps up to 25, maybe 30 degrees below average in terms of an anomaly. So, yeah, really cold air coming into the heart of America, potentially through the Christmas week. And look how far south it's digging, right way down in towards Texas there. Most of the states also very cold, even the areas that aren't in the middle, but aren't getting exceptionally cold air, are below average in the green and blue colours. It's only in this southeastern corner where to the temperature above average a little bit. The anomalies are above average, but really a very cold December, I think, coming up for many parts of the United States, and that, as I say, is where the cold air is at the moment. If you have a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly charts, we can see what's going on. 500 millibars, 18,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere. I've got high pressure and low pressure developing. So those areas of high pressure and low pressure moved around by the jet stream running above, but essentially we get weather. So we've got ECMWF here on the left, the GFS on the. These are the 8 to 10 day means. This is taking us to around the 22nd of December. Now this blue area, this very intense blue area on the ECMWF and indeed on the GFS as well over the United States, is a very deep trough of low pressure, and it's within that trough that we've got that very cold air, severely cold air, digging down into central parts of the states. Now this eventually spills out into the Atlantic, of course, this air, because the general flow across the northern hemisphere is west to east. So eventually this cold trough, the cold air, is pulling out into the Atlantic. Once you get caught up in the jet stream, it's taken in the form of another trough of low pressure, and that's this blue area here that is in the Atlantic and to the west and northwest of British Isles. It's taking that across the Atlantic and into Europe. So it's quite right that a lot of people say that whether you get in America follows in the United Kingdom. That is essentially right, but of course the big difference is that it's modified. The air is modified by the Atlantic. So whilst we've got this cold air spitting out into the Atlantic and eventually ending up around the British Isles in the form of low pressure, because of the warming effect of the Atlantic Ocean, we don't get the kind of very cold temperatures and wintry conditions that they get in the United States. To get it, we would need blocking to be setting up over the Arctic and to be pulling in very cold air into the United Kingdom. We don't really see it on these charts, although the GFS this morning, just interestingly, hinting at a little bit of high pressure associated with these red colours, or orange colours, trying to push into the centre of the Arctic and towards Greenland. But really, we've got to send, what's got to happen for us to get cold is that we've got to send the blocking that way across the pole and send the cold air down into Eurasia. And again, that would be the scenario on the ECMWF as well. We've got to send this area of red over here, all of the blocking on the Pacific side of the Arctic. We've got to push out across the pole and get it sitting sitting over the centre of the pole, and then get the cold air going down into into Europe and into Asia. As well, at the moment, it's really Canada and North America that's getting all of that colder air. But things could change. It's still early in the winter. There is time for this pattern to shift somewhat. Just want to very quick show you the GFS temperature ensembles. We're not going to look at them in too much detail, but a very classic sunny wave there today, associated with zonal Atlantic-driven weather. When you get the cold sectors, when we get the drop in the lines here, the temperature lines, that's when we've got the cold sector coming through. When the lines rise up, that's when we've got the warm sector coming through. So you can quite clearly see a cold sector there, a warm sector there, a cold sector there, warm sector, cold sector, warm sector, cold sector, warm sector, and so we go on right the way to the end of the chart, to the 27th. A very, very classic zonal sunny wave there. And when you average it all out, temperatures do tend to come out a little bit above average, because even with these colder sectors, because it's very windy, particularly at night, it still means that the temperatures hold up a little bit, particularly, say, at night. Lots of precipitation spikes coming up as well, so we are going to have plenty of rain. The dry start to December is on its way out. Here's the GFSM for the middle of next week. Low pressure really driving the pattern in the Atlantic. Lots of weather systems sweeping across the country through the middle of next week. Very deep area of low pressure there could bring gales and heavy rain, particularly to England and Wales on Thursday. That's being signalled quite a lot on the models at the moment. Thursday could be one to watch. Very flat westerly flow on Friday the 20th. Showers along the spells of rain. And going out today, 10, Sunday the 22nd, another area of low pressure, very deep one, 945 millibars, is sweeping in across the country. And again, it's that cold air from Canada and the States that's fueling these low pressures as it spills out over the warm Atlantic Ocean and enhances the jet stream. The E70, that's the GFS, the E70, again, very unsettled through the middle of next week. And there's that nasty little area of low pressure that could come in on Thursday, Wednesday night into Thursday. Be keeping an eye on that. That could be very significant, bringing severe gales and torrential rain to many parts of the country. Through to Friday the 20th, and again that flat westerly flow is still there, type by, so it's windy, showers along the spells of rain, and that's how we go into Sunday, the 22nd, day 10. No real change to low pressures to northwest Scotland, so it's wet and windy, showers along the spells of rain, not cold, temperatures up and down as those warm sectors and cold sectors come through. And the G and the Canadian model all seeing it very, very similar. Again, there's that nasty low pressure for Thursday the 19th sweeping in. That could well be one to watch. Moving beyond that into Friday the 20th, again very flat westerly flow and no real change today, 10, with low pressure firmly in control, bringing showers or longer spells of rain. So when are we likely to, or when could we perhaps see a breakdown to this? Well, let's have a look at the 500 millibar height anomalies very quickly before we go, from the website weatherweb.net. This is the CFS model. I have to tell you about it. CFS, so it is prone to chopping and changing a lot. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly for December, first of all, and this is pretty good. I think this is basically the anomaly that we're going to get. Lots of low pressure associated with those blue and purple colours in the Atlantic, a ridge of high pressure across central and eastern parts of Europe. That's pretty good, to be honest. That's about the sort of 500 millibar anomaly we're going to see for this month. It means a very Atlantic driven month, with this ridge, of course, that we had early in the month being forced back further and further east with time as the Atlantic really does kick off and get going. Now, the anomaly that it's come up with this morning for January is quite interesting, because then, as I said, we've got to push the blocking across the pole and get it towards Greenland, and it is seeing that for January in terms of the 500 millibar height anomaly this morning. Now, I say this is prone to chopping and changing, but this is the sort of thing we've got to see anyway. If we're going to break out of this and get some colder weather, we've got to set the high pressure up around Greenland, which in turn means that we've got this deep trough in the east of the states, so it stays very cold for the United States, or certainly for central eastern parts of the states anyway. But importantly now, we're on the cold side of the blocking as well, so the trough that in December is sitting around Iceland is now further south. It's somewhere around Spain, and the jet stream, of course, coming around that trough is going to the south. So on the cold side of the jet, and the trough has been pushed southwards. Still very active Atlantic. That cold air over the east of states still fueling lots of very cold weather. But because of the blocking, the low pressure that's being generated by that cold air is being pushed southwards. So that's quite an interesting anomaly for January. It's the sort of thing we've got to see. I'm not saying we will see it, but it's the sort of thing we've got to see if we're to get some colder weather this winter. But that's for January. It's from the CFS model. It's highly experimental. And by the way, you can find the link to webweb.net on my links page. Not sure if I mentioned that. It's experimental, and it's for January, so it's a long way off. In the shorter term, we're looking at very unsettled conditions for the next week. Going up to Christmas, it's going to be a really unsettled run up to Christmas with heavy bouts of rain, strong winds, gale force winds. Very interesting weather, really, for a weather observer like me, but not really the sort of thing you want if you're looking for proper winter cold weather to dig in. But that's what we're going to get anyway. Some significant wind and rain on the way for the next week or two. That's it for now. We'll have a more extended look ahead tomorrow, I think, with the JMA model. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.